The flood coolant system for my bandsaw arrived, and normally I don't do unboxing videos, but I thought everybody might be pleased to see that this thing came in a crate. So let's pop it open and check it out. More of this good metal band material. I saved short pieces of this for shims and that kind of stuff. Cut some of that up later and save it. Let's see if we can get in here. Oh yeah. Interesting. So, a little interesting. It was packed very well in this crate, but then I open it up. I'm not sure if all this gunk is from it being tested or what. It's all over. A couple little pieces of foam. The switch box has got some melted parts on it. Looks like this is the return hose. Doesn't appear to be anything in it. Allen key just floating around in there. Wonder if this was a demo unit or fully just used or what. I would have expected it to be a little cleaner, and I wouldn't expect the hose to be just wrapped around the pump. closer to used or demo unit than it does new. Well, let's get it out of the box and see what the rest of it looks like. No instruction manual. This was on sale, but it certainly was not marked as used or demo. I think the level of dirt and grime on it is a bit more consistent with used or demo than it is checking the machine out to see if it works. It's filthy, look at that. The inside seems to be pretty clean though. Heck this is. Chunks of metal. In it. I guess that's to strain out big stuff. I'm guessing it just screws on. Threads on. Oh, that's ridiculously filthy. I was hoping this would be a bit more of a pleasant unboxing than this. This hose is all crimped up. Suppose it'll probably work okay once the coolant starts going through it. I can cut it off. Alright, I'm going to get it cleaned up. Kind of odd that there's not even an instruction manual for it. Does not seem to jive with their measurements on their website either. I'm going to pull that up and check it out. Well, I'll come back when I get it cleaned up a little bit, check a few things out. Okay, so I used the dimple die that I made on the lathe in a separate video. Drilled a hole in the bottom of the shelf, put the dimple die in, and dimpled the metal so that the through hole will sit down below the surface. Chipped up the paint a little bit, but yeah, that'll work nicely. So I'll use some plumber's putty. I think I can get away with just using plumber's putty on the top surface, but if I need to, I can make a rubber gasket for the bottom where it mounts, tightens against the bottom. We'll see. I think this will be enough. It's a little chilly out here today. I've managed to get the garage up to a comfortable working temperature, but but outside it's pretty bad. Alright, so let's see how this goes. I gotta get a wrench and something to put down inside that fitting so it doesn't turn. Wrench. Perfect. Something to hold that. It's a little tight in here at the moment because I had to make room for my snowblower. We're expecting quite a storm tonight. That's it. That should do it. That should be watertight. And I have an inline filter. And of course it looks like I put these on backwards. There we go. So hose will go from the fitting into the filter, and then down from the filter into the tank. This is a 100 mesh, they call it on Amazon. I don't know what the real level of filtration on that is, but I got the finer one because these metal chips are pretty darn fine from this bandsaw. If this one ends up clogging up too easy, I'll see about ordering maybe the 40, but that one looked like it would just let the metal chips flow right through. Okay, so let's get this hose cut. Alright, let's rub this end down first. Move the camera so you guys can see. Okay, so let's try this thing again. I ended up buying the wrong size fittings for my filter the last time, so I went back, got the right size fittings now for the hose that I have, and let's see about getting this put on here. Now my long-term goal is to put the middle shelf back in here, but it won't fit in the original position because I did not really pay that close of attention to the specifications for the coolant system. The dimensions listed on the website listed the tank, listed the height of the tank as a little over 9 inches, and I misread that as the height of the entire unit. So that doesn't include the pump or the switch or anything that's sitting on top of the tank. Okay, so I decided I'm going to use 5 gallons of water, and I need to have 18 ounces of coolant for every gallon of water, so I need 90 ounces of coolant. So here's 36. Let's pour this in there kind of slow. I didn't realize that the handle on this measuring cup was below the level of the container. So let's pour this in slowly, and hopefully we don't have any leaks. Okay, That should be just shy of 6 gallons of coolant. Let's see what we got going here. That is closed. My power. Pump is running. We have coolant. Awesome. My little filter's already doing its job. I can see it's caught some of the sediment that was left in the bottom of the shelf where I was using it to cut before I had the coolant set up. It looks like I got a little leak up there on the up here. More Teflon tape. Go through and do all of those joints. One of the reasons I decided to buy this kit is that I wanted to make sure the motor, the pump that came with it, was designed to be run without full flow. So even when it's off or partial flow, that it's not going to burn out the pump. So rather than do the research myself and come up with all the various parts and everything, by the time I started doing that, it wouldn't cost me hardly any less than what I paid for this, and buying it this way is a lot less work. Alright, so I took everything apart after my little test. Put the shelf back in, drilled a hole through it for the drain hose to go down through, and I swapped out the drain hose with the wire in it for just a plain plastic hose. It was a lot easier to get on, especially after I heated it up a little bit. And as you can see, everything's working nicely. No drips, no leaks, and it works very, very well. Despite my initial concerns about the condition of the unit when I received it, despite it being in a crate, it wasn't packed very well at all. It could just rattle around in the box, and I think you could see the imitation line lock hose was snapped off. It did snap back together, but it was pretty much a mess. I don't know if they're all like that or what. I did get it on sale, so it does work, so I'm okay with that. And it works very well. So there will be one more part to this coming out, and it is a result of, as I keep saying, my living up here in the Great White North, where it gets very cold, and I'm using a coolant that is mostly water. So look for part 4 coming out hopefully next week. And once again, thanks for watching. If you would subscribe, I would appreciate it. And I've got my contact info in the description and at the beginning of the video, an email address. Any YouTubers out there who'd like to swap stickers or anything like that, I finally got some stickers made.
I'll have a video coming out of some folks that I've exchanged stickers with and some other stuff here coming out soon. Thanks a lot. Take care.